Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. Today I wanted to talk about how you can create a vision for your first home, or maybe it's your second home or your third, who knows. But I am planning to get in the field of being a first buyer together with my partner. And I've never done this before, and a few weeks ago I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm looking for, because I'm not one of those people who, to be honest, in the past I could never imagine that I would ever be in the market of buying. I don't know, maybe because my parents never bought, so I just had no idea. So because I have thought about and looked into this topic quite a bit in the last few weeks, I thought I'd just share my experience, because maybe you want to buy your first home at some point and maybe you have no idea where to begin. So if you are in the UK, just like me, start with the websites Zoopla and Rightmove, which I'm going to link below, and you can just have a little browse. What I would suggest, if you don't know, well, if you don't know anything, maybe you could first find out what your budget is. Like, is it just going to be you? Is it going to be you and your boyfriend? Is it going to be you and a really good friend of yours? Have you got some savings for a down payment? Do you want to begin saving, and maybe you need to get an idea how much you need to be saving or how much you want to be saving? I know these are all a lot of questions, but these are just start of questions to get you going, because once you know how much money you have, I mean, not just how much money you have for a down payment, also how much money you could borrow. This is where a mortgage calculator comes in. Just Google mortgage calculator. They will ask you a bunch of questions, and then at the end they will show you a number. Now, I'm not saying that this is exactly the number that you're gonna get. It could be more, it could be less, because that's just an estimation. But that's a very good place to start, because with that number you can go to Zoopla, you can go to Rightmove, and you can put that number in and you can have a look what that gets you. Now, this is going to get you a really good idea. Are you going to be able to buy a flat? Are you going to be able to buy a house? What areas can you afford? Or maybe you have a specific area where you want to live. So yeah, you just get a better idea with that. And then the next step, I would say, if you don't really know what your flat or what your house should look like for you to feel comfortable in, because ultimately you want to be living there for a long time. I mean, unless you buy this as an investment and you want to rent it out, that's a different story. But let's assume that you're watching this video because you want to create the vision of the home that you want to live in. Maybe not even for the rest of your life, but at least for a good chunk of time. So you want to feel comfortable and warm and cozy. At least I assume that's how you want to feel. And so you have to figure out what it takes to get to those feelings. Like, what is it that you really like? Do you really love a round flat, or do you really love to be above ground? Do you want a garden? Do you like, there's so many things to think about, but the best way to get you thinking is to click on lots and lots of properties, because those, even just looking at the pictures, is going to give you information on what you like and what you dislike. And as you click yourself through, I would suggest that you have a little note, either like a handwritten notepad or like a note section on your phone. That's what I did. And every time something pops into your mind, like a light bulb moment, you make a note of that. Like, you make, for example, I can share a few notes that I made. I put onto my notes, I want to live somewhere bright. I want a lot of white colors, although you can repaint things. I want the kitchen separate to the living room. Or like, this is very important to me. These are bonuses. This is also really important to take note of, because chances are you might not get like everything that you want to, but if you have a very, very clear idea on what you're looking for, you are so much more likely to find it. Like, your chances are going way, way, way up. So to be really clear on what's the most important for you and how, so in a flat, and then what's a bonus. So once you get to that point, you'll know with much more clarity when you see something, whether it's for you or not, and that way you are saving your own time and you're saving the realtor time, because you're not looking at houses or flats that ultimately you're not going to buy. You're just going to go and look at places that actually interest you for real. And then it's always good, like, you might come across things that you read and you might think, I don't know what this means because I haven't been in this industry, and that's completely fine, because you can Google those things. You can ask friends who have bought before. By the way, I would recommend you, if you want to buy your first home and you know people who already have bought before, get in touch with them, ask them if they would share their experience. Some people may say, well, I'm not an expert. Even if they're not an expert, if they have bought a place but you haven't, they know more than you. So you can 100% draw from the experience. Like, so if, obviously don't push anyone to have a conversation with you if they don't want to, but if you have like a good friend and they're open to have a chat and they say, well, I don't know that much, just say, well, I'd still love to have a chat if you're open to it. And then you just ask some questions and I'm sure they will be able to answer some of them. Even if they're not able to answer all of them, chances are you'll learn something. And then what I did next is I created a little vision board. Now, because I'm currently traveling a little bit, I didn't want to create one of those huge boards, but you know what? Even when I stayed at a flat in London, I also didn't really want to put my vision board in front of everybody to see. So what I did, I mean, you can do it completely differently, but I have a little book where I write my monthly reviews, which is also something you don't have to do. But what I'm basically saying is you can either make a smaller version, or you can use whatever notepad or book you have that you want to use, and you can make a little vision board in there. I'm just saying that making a vision board is really nice because you're taking time to really think about what it is that you want, and you are creating a vision, and you can look at that from time to time to reinforce or just remind yourself what it is that you are looking for in your first home. So yeah, I hope that this video helped you to create your vision. And if it did, give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody else who wants to buy their first home and maybe they're not really sure how to find out what they want, send them this video to help them out. And see you in my next video. Bye bye.